Can you join him in spreading out the skies harder than the mirror of cast bronze?
Okay. Now he talks about the sky, and he said it was cast bronze. This one, it says molten looking glass. Let me ask you something. Is a looking glass or is cast bronze, is it solid? Or is it really loose and wet? Or is it air? What is it? Is it solid?
Stop.
Solid. Now, most of your ancient records, okay, even Josephus, who was an ancient Jewish historian, who took the Bible to be history, by the way. Okay, remember, our guy said this is true. Pagan said we were joking. Okay, the ancient historians all believed that the sky at the time was solid. It was ice. Now, when you look at the atmosphere, if you went to the very edge and you went beyond the ozone, would it be hot or cold? Cold. All right. Usually, they say it's about negative 300 degrees Celsius. Okay. It's very cold. You throw water out there, you just threw ice. Okay. It instantly freezes. All right. Now, they've done some calculations, and basically, if you had what they might call a canopy or a crystalline canopy and stuff around the world, then it would put more pressure and it would put more oxygen, okay, in the environment. Have y'all ever heard of somebody who suffered from damage, like a burn damage, like they had these little chambers? They tried to put Michael Jackson in and it's kind of a little nuts, but yeah. All right, these barometric chambers. What they did was they put more pressure, oxygen, okay, into that person. And when they got more oxygen, what happens? They had massive healing properties. Okay? All of a sudden, you can make more vegetation. What do we see when we see the fossil record? We see giant everything. I mean, we just talked about the dinosaurs, but they had giant mammals. I mean, they've even found giant human skeletons. They found giant plants. There was a tree dug up in I think it was Alaska, that was 300 feet. There was another one I found in petrified wood. There's some petrified wood out in Texas of a tree that was 897 feet. Okay? So all this stuff started going bigger. Alright? And so basically, once you have this more nutrient ancient past, you could have giant animals. Okay? And you had a better world. And hey, if you had all this stuff, wouldn't people live a little bit longer? So basically, what's going on is that in the ancient past, God made a better world. Okay? And then what happens after the flood when you look at the genealogies and the ages? Okay? Abraham and all them, they have long lives, but they don't live as long. So it tapers off and it goes away. Now, a lot of people would say, number one, how is that scientifically possible? Well, I would say that this was created during the Genesis week. And that means God created it. He made it miraculously. But also, they have found ice clouds in the Antarctic area. Okay? And when they look up in the telescopes and stuff, they see these big, really pretty blue clouds that are not in our atmosphere, but actually in space. After all this stuff broke down, I believe it went to the North and the South Pole. That's why we got all these freezing Antarctic areas. That's why you have mammoths that get frozen in place. They might be even digesting their food, but millions of mammoth fossils that are just frozen there. Lots of deep stuff. I don't have time. Yeah, I could literally teach this stuff to y'all for 6 months. Okay, just a lot of information. But basically, you have to get your stuff out there. My ministry is Bible Smack. You go on the internet, you go to BibleSmack.net. I've got lots of stuff. But I've also got some basic stuff, more basic stuff. We go over, I got a DVD I'm going to sell today. And I'm sorry that I have to sell it. It's just that it cost me about $4, so I'm selling it for $5. And I'm just trying to raise revenues for my ministry. Okay? But DVD, it's about 12 to 13 parts. It takes about 2 hours and 19 minutes. And you can watch it over and over again when you talk to your atheist friends, you bring up some of these ideas. And of course, you can talk to me and meet up with me, and I'll tell you any information I know. I've got lots of records and stuff like that. I can bring you up references, books, and all that kind of stuff to help you get ready. This is not just for making people get saved. What really happens is that when you want somebody to get saved, you know what you do? Tell them the good news of the gospel. Amen. The problem is that after they hear the good news of the gospel and reject it, they might still have some issues. Yep. And they might get a little mad at you because they realize, hold on, if I didn't accept Jesus, I'm going to hell. And so they get mad at you. No matter how nice you are, you say, I love you, here you go. And they're like, I hate you. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to have knowledge and say, hold on, here's just the way it is. Okay? And basically, this helps out not only in slowly helping that unbeliever turn themselves around, but also it helps out in dealing with, how we get along in society. Okay? Because all these ideas that they're doing right now, the reason why there's a homosexual movement is because there was a socialism movement and a psychology movement. And you know where those came from? Evolution. All of those teachings are based back on the evolutionary theory. Okay, so once you had that theory get into everybody's heads, then all these other ideas came with it. Okay, so this is for us to kind of say, here is the truth. I love you. Please understand this. But if you can't, this is just the way it is. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. I guess that'd be up for now. I don't know how we're doing on time. I want to see if we can take some questions.
Make them quick.
Okay. Anybody got any questions or anything? If some of the material went over. I mean, just anything on your mind. I'm good. Just throw something out. Just trying to figure out if hands moving or hands raising. All right.
I was thinking about your more oxygen percentage and the
Yeah.
whole things and how everything was bigger. Well,
Yeah.
what's bigger animals also mean more damage to vegetation? Like, man cuts down all these trees every year and we keep losing our oxygen because we have to have vegetation to absorb the carbon dioxide and turn it into oxygen.
Two things about that. Number one, the Bible has it to where animals are living things. Anything that moved and was living. But the plants are not living, so it's not a moral issue. But also, these things, they had so much nutrients around, they just keep on growing. If you stop working on things, stop the farming and stuff, see what happens. Okay, for it to just pop right back up. Okay. I just want to thank you so much. I'll be hanging out for a little while, and I want you to come up to me, talk to me. All right. No problem at all. If you have any questions, and also I got my stuff back there. If you really want the DVD and you don't have exact change or something, don't worry, I'm haggleable. Okay, I'm just hoping somebody would like to help out with my ministry a little bit. But other than that, let's talk about this stuff. Let's go as Christians and get equipped.
I'd like to make one statement. The one thing I like about talking to you and with you is the fact that you think outside the box, all right? In order for us to really comprehend how vitally important the Bible is, okay, we have to first, it helps to go up on that mountain and see from the mountaintop, all right? To do that, we have to get outside of our age, outside of culture, because the secularists have us in our culture just like the